Welcome to Life with Java. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. Good morning, friends. Welcome back to the homeschool room. Let's talk about 5th grade curriculum. For those of you who don't know, I homeschool. My son just turned 11, and he is currently doing 5th grade curriculum. He is autistic, and he has some learning differences, but we are just trekking right along through homeschool. We're getting a lot of knowledge in, a lot of fun in, creating a lot of experiences. And so let's talk about the changes we're making. We just recently finished the entire Measuring Things book from Usborne. This was a really fun book. It had a lot of great graphics and taught a lot of great skills. The biggest new skill he learned in this book was converting like cups to pints, quarts to gallons, inches to feet, feet to yards. Sorry, my mind just went blank for a minute. A lot of conversion of numbers, which is very important knowledge to have. We focus a lot here on life skills and things that I think Jackson will need in his regular everyday life. And as he grows up and chooses a career path to go into, then we will focus more, or we will get some online classes going, or some tutors to teach him anything that we have a gap in. So my main focus is to make learning fun, to have him continue to be curious and willing to learn, and to just teach things that he'll use in everyday life. The other book we've been using for the last probably 3 months, we do curriculum for about 3 months, and then we kind of refocus, reset some goals, and kind of find something new to intrigue his interest and keep moving forward with. We've also been working in the 100 Days of Word Problems. These are real life numbers, book 2. These numbers use addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Jackson is actually really, really good at word problems. They just make sense. When it's in an everyday situation he understands, they just make sense. But we've gotten probably a quarter of the way through this book, and we've kind of hit a big roadblock. The problems we're into now have 3 and 4 different parts to them. It's one word problem, but you have to solve this equation before you can solve this equation before you can figure out your answer. Problems like that are just not in Jackson's skill set at this time. He has executive functioning struggles, and he has a lot of short-term working memory deficits. So it's too hard for him to hold that many numbers in his head. And honestly, in my opinion, it's getting into questions that he is not going to use in everyday life. So I'm not saying we won't ever come back to this. I'm not saying he won't ever be able to do this, but we are setting this aside for now. It was causing meltdowns, and it was causing a lot of resistance to learning and to coming in our homeschool room and, doing our daily activities, and that is not what we want. So we finished this one. We're setting this one aside. For the last several months, probably at least the last 6 months, if not 9 months, we have focused a lot on math. We've worked really hard on math. So we are going to switch that focus this time. The math book we're going to do now, I got the 180 Days of Math for 5th grade. We use a lot of the 180 day books. I really like them. The format is perfect for Jackson. The 5th grade one has 12 questions on each page. You do your 12 questions and you're finished. The math books are not good for teaching, in my opinion, but they are great for not backsliding on skills and for teaching each skill in several different formats. So we're going to move to this book. He already knows how to do the majority of the things in this book, but it'll be great practice, and it will be something that he won't fuss about, but he also won't backslide. And there are a few new things that we've learned in here. We've had to look up a couple of terms together and figure out what it wanted together. So this will still move us a little bit forward, but also make sure we don't move backwards. So this will be our math. And along with this, once a week, I'm going to encourage Jackson to join me in the kitchen to cook, which is a huge step for him. Jackson has ARFID. He has a lot of sensitivity around smell and sight and taste of food. He also has sensitivities toward getting his hands dirty or making a mess. But we are going to encourage once a week for him to do some kind of cooking. Last weekend, he made his chocolate chip muffins with me, and he did really good. We tried 2 different recipes, not recipes, We went to a family gathering, so we made his muffins in a different flavor of muffins, but we used 2 different types of measuring cups and 2 different types of spoons and scoops to see what worked best for him. So we made progress there for sure. I also got out these recipe books that we got when he got that free sensory box. You may remember that. If not, there is a video about that if you want to go back and look at it. But these recipes, these ones are sensory visual recipes. These ones say nursery rhyme, but all of these recipes not only have the ingredients written out in the instructions, but they have visual steps to go with them. So I think these will be perfect for Jackson. He can pick and choose any recipe he wants to make that week, and I'll make sure that we have the ingredients for it, or we can continue to make his muffins, or he can continue to learn how to make his own frozen pizza in the toaster oven, or anything that he wants to learn. Anything that he will eat and he is willing to eat, he can learn to prepare for himself. But he can also get more experience around foods even that he won't eat, but that he could help prepare for the rest of the family. These are also very important life skills. They work on math skills. Cooking works on following directions. It works on fine motor, sensory. So cooking is something that he has not been ready for up until this point, but he's excited to try to do this now. And if he's excited, I'm excited. So moving on from that, we are going to shift our focus from learning a lot of new math skills and focus a little bit more on writing. As we all know, writing is Jackson's lowest subject. He's very resistant to it, but we work on it in very, very simple and small ways. Last year, Jackson completed this question a day journal for kids. He started it on his 10th birthday, and he finished it the day after his 11th birthday. I was so impressed. I thought maybe we had gotten a question or 2 behind throughout the year, but we worked really diligently for him to do this every single day before it was his electronics time. So he knew that he had this done before, before he got interested in electronics. And he did great. He only missed 1 question, which he caught up on. These were a perfect way to develop writing skills without the daunting thought of writing a full paragraph or something. What we worked on in the question a day, it was very, very simple questions, but it did use, some thought process. But we worked on answering the question, staying on topic, answering the question on topic, and also writing in a complete sentence, starting with a full thought and ending with punctuation. Jackson still isn't great at writing capital letters when needed and lowercase when needed. Writing is a huge struggle for Jackson. He does have dysgraphia, so he often mixes capital and lowercase together. So we still didn't focus on that. I wanted to focus on one complete sentence. If it asks, what is your favorite movie? I want you to answer as my favorite movie is blah, 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 because blah, blah, blah. So it was great progress, and he did wonderful in this book. So this year, what we're going to do is I got another journal, and we're going to do it together. It's Mom and Me. It's still same simple format of questions. There are some questions that the mom answers and some questions that the son answers. Some things that we do together, some things that we color, or some drawings that we draw. I thought this would be fun and another way that he and I can connect and work on it together. So we will do this once or twice a week. I also pulled this book back out. We have gone back to this book over and over throughout the years. I think we started this probably when he was in probably about 2nd grade, where you draw a picture and then you write a story about it. And we'll do it for, 3 months, and then we'll probably put it away. He'll be sick of it and we won't look at it again. But you can see that his drawing and his writing evolve over time. So my goal for this is to do this about once a week, just to have him draw whatever he wants to and write whatever he wants to about it. It might seem simple. This might seem like 1st or 2nd grade work, but these are skills that Jackson still needs work on. The fact that his picture will actually have anything to do with what he writes about it will be a huge goal. That is one of my biggest goals, is that he has a picture and the story actually has absolutely anything to do with the picture and tells about the picture. My goal will also be complete sentences. When an autistic child struggles with, I don't know how to word this. He doesn't struggle with language. Language is Jackson's strong suit, but he struggles with communicating complete thoughts. So that is something that we are still working on, not only verbally, but also written. You can't write a great story or write a great paragraph if your mind doesn't even organize that information enough to speak it, you know. So this will be great. We're going to try for once a week with this, once or twice a week with this. And we have also added in a spelling and word study. Jackson does not really need help in the spelling category. He is a very gifted speller. Jackson learned to read very, very early. He could read at 3 years old. By age 4 and 5, he could read almost anything he picked up very fluently. Spelling has come just as naturally to him. Language comes just as naturally to him. But in doing this word study, not only will it get us a little bit of extra writing practice, we've already started these this week, so he's done 2 pages already. Not only will it be physical handwriting practice, but if there is a word in here that he's never written, once Jackson writes a word one time, he can spell it correctly pretty much forever. I have the same gift, and I do realize it is a blessing. One of my children can't spell at all, and she has worked for all the, how old is my daughter now? 31 years of her life to spell, and she still cannot spell very well. And she hates it, but it is not from lack of working on it. Jackson and I are natural spellers, but if there is any words in here that he has never actually written before, it'll be the one time that he needs to write it to understand it. And a lot of this is working on vocabulary, a little bit higher vocabulary, and looking at a sentence and understanding which word goes in there. And when some words, like some of these, you could have used 2 words. Yesterday, Jackson had written, Dad, I don't know if you can see this, Dad suggested a salad to go with our spaghetti and meatballs, which did fit, but the word it wanted was prepared. So when he got down here and realized suggested was already used down here, he knew to find another word here. And then it also worked on synonym and antonym, and Jackson knows what those are, but you can't ever have enough practice with those. These are important skills. These are important life skills. In a lot of real life situations, you do need to be able to use appropriate language. So we will work on this once or twice a week. We will probably skip around a lot in it. Jackson has done 2 pages using these same words. He doesn't need to do a whole week using the same words, and he would get very easily frustrated if we did. So when we pick this book back up next week to start it again, we will start on the next week and the new words, and we'll do a couple of pages of these words, and then we'll skip to the next week of the next words. So between these 3 items, that will be a wonderful, well-rounded, covering all aspects of writing. It will keep it new and keep it novel and keep it just mixed up enough that he won't get bored with it or frustrated with it. Along with that, we are going to continue our state study. As you saw in the last video, we finished Colorado. Today we will be starting on North Dakota. We're on the 39th state. We are almost finished. But in learning about the states, I'll show a few pages for anyone who hasn't seen our state study. We're learning all different facts about the states. We're learning the state bird, the state flower. We're learning about the flag. We're learning about all different items. You can see our list here. We have each state we've learned about and a list of things that look intriguing, things we might want to visit, or things that were fascinating to us about that state. We will continue the state study. When we are finished with the state study, we may deep dive more into the countries. I'm not sure yet. We've already studied quite a bit about New Zealand, and we've already studied quite a bit about Africa. We are actually learning a lot about China too from one of our followers. About Japan from one of our followers, who is sending us lots of little videos and pictures and snippets of information about things where she lives. So we are kind of already studying these things without even trying. We are also studying birds and animals from these states and these places. So that to me counts as our science. All of this counts as geography and as history. We are also completing our Who Is or Who Was or What Is or What Was series of, let me show you, our poster. Jackson is reading these books, which he loves. Jackson loves history, and answering the questions on our poster that I got in the used curriculum sale for free. Actually, it was a brand new poster for free, and it's right up Jackson's alley. As always, too, we have a slew of other books over here that we read and we study. We've also, since we are going to Boston very soon, we've been studying about the Boston Tea Party and Paul Revere. And the one game, you know, we learn a lot from games. We utilize a lot of games for our homeschool journey. We did buy one new game for this 3 month, I call it term or semester. For our 3 months, we got Scrabble Slam. This is a way to practice thinking a little bit quicker. And trust me, I don't push. Jackson and I are both kind of slow processors. But this, you lay down a 4 letter word with your cards, and then each person has the stack of the rest of the cards. Each card has 2 letters on it. As you can see, like this G, it tells you up here there's an A on the other side. So you know by looking at your cards what your options are. And you just go as fast as you can to replace 1 letter in the word and make it into a different 4 letter word. So you could make clay into play. You could make play into slay. You could make slay into slam, and you just go quickly. There's no taking turns, so you go pretty quick. This has been pretty fun. We've already played this a couple of times. We will still use our fraction games, our pizza fraction games. We may get back into the parts of speech bingo game and things like that. We have a lot of curriculum that we cycle through, that we bring out for a while, we play it for a while, and put it back away. But this is our curriculum for now. And of course, Jackson still does his own personal reading every day in his room. I hope you enjoyed learning about our curriculum. I appreciate everyone on this journey with us. If you're homeschooling a 5th grader or a child above, or you're homeschooling an autistic child who has similar struggles in writing or conversating, not really conversating, but just organizing thoughts. If you have a child that struggles with short-term working memory, I'm open for all of your tips, all of your tricks, all of your suggestions. If you have a part of your curriculum that you think we might enjoy, that is little snippets of information that we can do very quickly. We only spend 30 or 45 minutes out here in the homeschool room every day, and all the rest of our learning is done through life living, outings, board games, activities that we do, traveling that we do. So if you have any suggestions or knowledge for me, please share in the comments below. I thank you for watching this video. Don't forget, do something nice for yourself. It can't be all about your kids. It can't be all about your spouse. It can't be all about anybody else. Do something nice for yourself today. See you next time. Bye.